Hello and welcome to Video Jug. We're going to show you how to make calzone. Reportedly to have originated in Naples, calzone, properly pronounced calzone, is also known as a stuffed pizza. It is made with pizza dough and filled with cheese, vegetables, and meat. They can be either baked or fried. Our recipe is vegetarian, but the combinations of fillings are as endless as your imagination. Step 1. You will need the following ingredients to serve 2 people. For the dough, 210 grams of flour, 2 tablespoons of cornmeal, 120 milliliters of lukewarm water, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of instant dry yeast, 6 grams of salt, 1 tablespoon of honey, and a little extra flour for dusting. For the filling, 100 grams of shredded mozzarella cheese, 150 grams of ricotta cheese, 200 grams of mixed mushrooms, 2 cloves of garlic, sliced, 60 milliliters of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of thyme, chopped, and salt and pepper, and some grated Parmesan for garnish. Here is a handy list of the ingredients. You will also need the following utensils: a bowl lightly oiled, a wooden spoon, a tea towel, a fork, a frying pan, a brush, a baking tray or pizza stone, a rolling pin, an electric mixer with a hook attachment, some tongs, a spatula, a tray, and a knife. Step 2. Make the dough. To start the process, begin by adding the water, yeast, flour, olive oil, salt, and honey into the bowl of your mixer. Lower the hook and let it knead slowly until it starts to cling to the hook and comes together as a ball of dough. This will take roughly 3 to 4 minutes. Sprinkle with a little flour and remove it from the bowl. To finish the dough, knead it by hand for 3 to 5 minutes until it has a smooth and shiny consistency. Then, place it into a lightly oiled bowl. Cover the dough with a clean tea towel and let it rise for 30 to 60 minutes. Tip: you can do all of this by hand if you wish. Step 3. Prepare the filling. Next, place the frying pan on high heat. Once the pan has warmed through, add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Now add the mushrooms and let them cook 2 to 3 minutes. Season them with salt and pepper. Stir and toss occasionally. Add a little more oil if needed. Next, add the sliced garlic, stir it in, and let it cook for a minute or so more. Remove it from the heat and place it onto a tray to cool. Tip: the filling has to be totally cooled before putting it into the dough. Step 4. Preheat the oven. You can now set your oven to 250 centigrade or the highest gas mark setting. And if you have a pizza stone, now place it into the oven. If you are using a baking tray, place that in the oven upside down. Step 5. Roll the dough. Uncover the ball of dough. Then, before touching the risen dough, dust your hands with a little flour and punch out the air once or twice with one hand to release the air. Then, dust a clean work surface with a little flour, place the ball of dough onto it, and cut it into 2 pieces. Now roll each of these pieces into 2 balls. Place the tea towel over the balls of dough and let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes more. Tip: the dough can be covered in plastic wrap at this point and stored in the refrigerator for up to 2 days. Step 6. Shape the dough. When the rest time is up, remove one of the balls of dough, coat it with flour, and make sure the work surface is also sprinkled with flour. Now start to open up the ball using your fingers. Spread the dough outward from its middle in a circular shape until it has a diameter of about 15 to 20 centimeters, just as our chef is demonstrating. You can also use your rolling pin, dusted with flour, in order to help this process. Give the dough a final flour and slowly stretch it by hand. Cover it immediately with a towel. Repeat the same process with the remaining ball. Step 7. Fill the calzones. Next, Equally divide the cheeses into halves. Begin with the mozzarella. Place it on one half of the dough, making sure there is a small space between the cheese and the edge of the dough. Repeat with the other base. Spoon the ricotta on top of the mozzarella on both spaces. Now add the mushroom mix on top of the cheeses and sprinkle some thyme on top of the mushrooms. Season with salt and pepper. Step 8. Close the calzones. Brush the edges of the dough with a little water. Now take the edges and carefully fold it over the fillings. Press the edges firmly to seal, and then, using a fork facing backwards, press along the edge with the fork's tines, leaving an impression of parallel lines. Step 9. Bake. Now remove the baking tray or pizza stone from the oven. Sprinkle some cornmeal on top of the hot baking stone or tray. This prevents the pizzas from sticking. And place both calzones onto the stone or tray. Do this process as fast as possible to lose minimum heat. The hotter the oven, the better the pizza. Bake for roughly 10 to 12 minutes or until the crust is golden brown. Step 10. Remove and serve. Once baked, remove them from the oven. Brush generously with olive oil to moisten and add a touch of flavor. Sprinkle with a little grated Parmesan cheese and serve immediately. Enjoy! And that's how to make calzone the video jug way.